This is Andi Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm delighted to be joined by British ring legend Joe Calzaghe here in Wales. Joe, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to be back in Cardiff for a big fight, so good.
Good to hear. Now, obviously, just before we do come on to kind of a reason we're here, just want to get an update on yourself. How are you finding the management front, Joe?
Yeah, good. Well, I'm off to Mexico next week, Guadalajara, so a long way to go, but looking forward to watching Jesus Martinez in his first pro debut. So me and Darren will be out there next week. So yeah, busy couple of weeks ahead.
Certainly sounds like it. Now, obviously, I know you're on brief time because you've got to go do other commitments. So straight into it, Joe Cordina, the chance to become the only current Welsh champion against Usyk-AJ on Saturday night. Talk to me about this fight, Joe. What are you expecting?
Yeah, I expect a great fight. It's a step up for Joe. Only had 14 fights, but he's got a great background, great amateur experience. Very, very talented fighter. I always said, I believe he'd be a world champion. So this is it. Ogawa's a big. He's a good champion, big puncher, more experienced. But I think with home advantage, I think if Joe uses his boxing skills, his footwork, and fight smart, he can win this fight.
Joe, people always comment on who could be the next Welsh champion, who could kind of take over from yourself. You obviously achieved so much during your career, and people always look to try and emulate that. If Joe's successful on Saturday night, could he be the start of maybe the next man coming through, or people start to look to try and emulate him the way that he might have done with you in his earlier career?
Yeah, it was a big championship fight, IBF title. Big championship fight against a top fighter. So yeah, this will be a massive kick to the next level for Joe, to an inspiration to Welsh fighters like I was coming through, still am. And yeah, what can I say? He's a top fighter, he's a top amateur, done everything he could do as a pro. But like this is the acid test now. Fighting a hungry fighter coming into this fight. But I think, like I said with Joe. Like I say, he's got the skill. I think he has the skill, the footwork, and the class. To win. I think it'll be a tough fight. He's going to dig deep in this fight because Ogawa is a strong opponent. But I think and hope with a home crowd, he can come out victorious and another world champion for Wales. It'd be great.
Joe, I just want to touch on a few other quick topics before I let you go. Firstly, obviously, I saw you out in Vegas when Canelo fell short in his challenge against Bivol for that WBA light heavyweight title. Just going back to that night, we hadn't had a chance to catch up your thoughts and reflections.
Yeah, well, I think it just goes to show, obviously, Canelo's not a light heavyweight or a super middleweight, and I said all along that he is a great fighter, but not a great light heavyweight, and a really good light heavyweight champion will beat him because that size and everything. I think with Bivol, because he threw combinations and moved his feet and fought a very clever fight, didn't allow Canelo into it, and I was glad that the decision was given to Bivol because I think it would have been bad if they had given the decision to Canelo. I saw Canelo winning 2, maybe 3 rounds in the whole fight, so he's moving back down to middleweight. I think it's middleweight against Triple G. I think that's it's super middle, okay, but yeah. So I think that's a good fight for him. I think, after the Bivol fight, I wouldn't have a rematch with him. I think, he lost that fight quite easily. So I think a third fight with Triple G, it's a decent fight, and he's not any younger. He's about 40 plus now, isn't he, Golovkin? So I think, it's a needle match as well. I think that's a sensible fight.
Just away from that, I want to get your thoughts on the heavyweight division. Start off with Anthony Joshua. He's brought Robert Garcia into his training camp. What do you make of that move ahead of the Usyk rematch?
I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. At the end of the day, I think it was time for him to have a change. So I think that's the right idea. Whether Garcia is the right guy, I'm not sure. We wait and see. I think he needs to change things, and I think when the fighter realises they need to change things, that's a step in the right direction. He knows he maybe tactically needs to change against Usyk, because Usyk is a very, very good boxer. His amateur pedigree, and he's been boxing for a young age. He's an excellent boxer, the big guy. But I think Joshua, if he can make his strength pay more in this fight and his punching power, it could be really interesting. But it'll still be a tough ask. But I think it'll be an exciting fight.
What do you believe happens in the rematch?
I'm not sure. It depends. I'm not sure. I think with Usyk, at the end of the 12th round, I think Joshua was really tired at the end. I think Usyk is not as big, but I think when it comes to stamina and boxing skills, he's a better fighter. So Joshua's going to have to negate that by somehow taking that play away from him, and that could be using his strength on the inside. He's the bigger guy, and he punches hard. So I think he has to make Usyk respect his power probably early on the fight.
Joe, do you think Tyson Fury is genuinely retired?
You'd have to ask him. I'm not sure. I think he's on a bit of a holiday. We have to wait and see. Listen, I don't know. Listen, when my time was up, it was up. We could have made more money, could have had more titles, but I just achieved everything I wanted to achieve. World champion in 11 years. That was it for me. So with Tyson Fury, if something excites him, who knows? Maybe he's just going to sit back on the beach, watch Usyk, Joshua, see who wins, and it's a great position to be in, isn't it? Decide then if he wants to fight again. But like I said, he's number one in the division. He's the main man at the minute, so deserves a well-deserved rest.
Final one, Joe. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of people come back and having exhibition bouts. Something we might see you maybe with your old pal, Carl Fratcher.
Oh man, you're deja vu, mate. Deja. He said exactly the same questions, but no. I like I said to the other guy, so basically regards to exhibition, I'm 50 now, we're waiting to see, trying to get back in shape. I done a bit of training a few months ago, hurt my left arm, but you know what, it's if I get myself in some decent shape, there's a whole list of people that want an exhibition. It's great that people are still calling my name out, but for the minute I'm just going to enjoy myself, get back in a bit of shape and see where I am in a few months.
Joe, I appreciate your time, enjoy the rest of your day, thank you.
Nice one, mate.